Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, Counter Spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into a time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Phillips H. Lord's raucous crime-fighting program, Gangbusters. This episode of the program was originally broadcast on May 24th, 1947, and it is the case of the costumed killer.
Gangbusters!
Tonight, the case of the costume killer, who was an old hand at his trade and a hard master to his apprentices, until he learned the first lesson of society at the hands of skillful detectives.
And now to Gangbusters and facts that show the operation of our law enforcement officials in their war against the underworld. Gangbusters has asked Chief J.A. Pitcock, who recently retired as Chief of Police, Little Rock, Arkansas, after 31 years of service, to narrate by proxy tonight's case.
The inside facts in the case of the costume killer.
Chief Pitcock, from what you've told me, I know tonight's case is so fantastic the facts about this criminal are hard to believe.
Yes, Don Gardner, but I've got his signed confession to murder right here in my hand.
Well, when did you first hear of this man, Chief Pitcock?
Well, Don, our reports start not too many months ago in the city of Paragould, Arkansas. A tall, slim man about 40 had been sitting in the front parlor of his rooming house. He'd heard a knock at the door, and he was on his way to answer it.
All right.
Hello, Mr. Usery.
Well, come in, Joey. Don't stand there like a tired old field horse.
Yes, sir. Look, Mr. Usery, don't be sorry to me because
Don't tell me here. Come on in the parlor.
Yeah.
Kids. Spend your days and nights trying to pound a little something in their pumpkin heads so maybe they'll amount to something. Get in there.
Yes, sir.
Well, what were you going to tell me, boy? Get it out of you. Think you wasn't born with a tongue.
I tried, Mr. Usery. Honest, I tried.
Sit down.
Yes, sir.
Now, you got to listen to me, boy. For years I've been showing kids how to do this. Kids, they all think they're smarter than you.
Oh, I don't think I'm smarter than you, honest.
Well, if you listened close to me and done exactly like I told you, you wouldn't have had no experience like that.
I tried, Mr. Usery.
You didn't do it like I told you. You didn't do a thing I told you.
Well, I was awfully scared. That cop came pretty close, awful close.
Well, after you'd listened to me and after you'd opened the window like I showed you how to open it, you'd have been in there and out with a stack full of stuff before that cop even got close.
Yes, sir, I guess I would, but...
But nothing. I got boys all over this city and lots of other cities. I showed them what to do and how to do it. Now, me and you are going back to that store tonight, and me and you are going to come home with a gunny sack full of stuff.
Yes, sir.
And then after we get that, I'm going to show you a few other things. How to disguise yourself up good so nobody can pick you out. How to pick a lock with just a hairpin. How to break a man's arm with just one twist.
Do I have to learn that?
Of course you got to learn that, boy. Sometimes you got to hurt people. Sometimes after you don't hurt people, you get hurt yourself. And hurt bad.
Did you ever hurt anyone?
Only because I had to.
Bad?
Bad enough. I killed him.
Killed him?
Only two.
Oh.
That's what I did my time for. And if I'd killed the third one, I wouldn't done no time at all. But I got soft-hearted. Serves me right. Now, never you get soft-hearted, boy.
Oh, no, sir.
Now, you listen to me. And I'll tell you how we're going to get in that store tonight.
Maybe you ought to use the glass cutter some more.
Shh, boy.
You got it.
Sure, I got it. Okay, Joey, I'll give you a boost up. You unlock the window.
Yeah.
Now grab a hold.
Okay.
Now, up you go. Okay, now. Reach in, unlock the window.
Yes, sir. Wait a minute. A little higher.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it.
Good boy. Now come on down. If you did it like this last night, we wouldn't have had all this bother tonight. got your gunny sack?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm going to boost you in. You know what to take. And when you get it, you meet me back the room.
Ain't you coming in with me?
There ain't but one way to learn, boy, and that's do it yourself.
But, Mr. Usery...
Don't stand there arguing with me. Now, come here. I'll boost you.
It ain't fair.
Now, up you go. Okay, that's enough. Now, jump down.
Yep.
Everything all right?
Yeah, I think so.
Good boy. I'll see you back the room. All right, I'm coming. Joey?
Yeah, it's me.
Just a second. Come in, boy.
Yes, sir.
Well, good work, boy. You did fine. Where's the gunny sack?
I got it, Mr. Usery. I left it in the shed.
Well, I told you to bring it so I could give you what you got coming.
I was gonna, but...
But what, boy? Speak up.
There was a cop waiting in front of my house.
A cop?
It's a good thing I saw him, Mr. Usery. An awful good thing.
You snitch. You...
Please, Mr. Usery, let me go. I didn't have anything to do with it.
What's he doing there, then?
I don't know.
Huh?
Let me go.
All right, boy. If this cop's waiting for you, that ain't good.
What do we do?
Well, I'll tell you, boy. You go on home and get to bed.
But the cop will
That
get
don't
me.
matter none, boy. You got no record. You get off easy.
But I don't want to go to jail. I don't want
I'll just give you a talking to. With me, it's a sight different. I'm on parole. They send me back to prison for life. You wouldn't want that to happen to your old friend Slim Usery, would you?
Oh, no, sir, I wouldn't.
Well, now you see why I got to leave town. Anyway, I got some of my other boys to look in on. I'll be in touch with you, boy. You'll hear from me. You're a good boy.
So, Don, Slim Usery, a paroled murderer and tutor in crime, fled to his native town of Hattiesburg, Mississippi, where he sought refuge at the home of his sister Etta. But Slim Usery's sojourn in Hattiesburg didn't prove as pleasant as he had hoped.
Slim? Slim? Slim!
Yeah, what's ailing you now?
I asked you to weed the garden. Instead, you sit there all day like you were the landlord waiting for his rent.
If you want the garden, weed it yourself. I ain't budging, Etta. I ain't budging an inch.
Honest, Slim, it just ain't right.
If I feel like it, Etta, I'll sit here all week.
I don't know how many times I have to tell you, Slim. You ought to be out working like other men.
Now, looky here, Etta. If there was work I felt like doing, I'd be out doing it. There ain't no kind of work around this town I feel like doing. Can't you get that through your head?
If you don't work, you're blown back in the penitentiary.
Now, look here, Etta.
I said the penitentiary.
Don't you talk to me like that, Etta.
The whole town's talking about you. They all know what you are. I got to bear the shame.
Who cares?
I could see that you're sent back to jail.
You shut up, you old hen.
Don't.
Why should I dirty my hands on you? Fine home you give your own brother, always nagging. Don't know when to stop.
I guess it was a mistake taking you in.
More of a mistake not coming back.
I guess you better leave, Slim.
I reckon the best.
I want you to be packed when I get home.
Yeah. What time you coming back?
I won't be back till late tonight.
Hey!
What?
Who's going to fix my supper?
Nobody. You're not eating here again.
Hey, Etta! You old hen. You ain't sending me back no penitentiary. You ain't even going to think about sending me back.
That, Don, was the moment Slim Usery made up his mind to murder his sister Etta. He knew she would walk home that night, and he waited in a clump of weeds until he heard her footsteps.
Etta? Howdy, Etta. You have a nice time?
Oh, Slim, you scared me.
Did I, Etta?
What were you doing back in those weeds? Did you lose something?
No. I'm just fixing to lose something, that's all.
What do you mean?
Nothing, Etta. Nothing at all.
Are you all packed to go? I don't want you in my house tonight.
I changed my mind, Etta. I'm staying.
Who said so?
I said so, that's who.
No, not in my house.
No?
If you don't go tonight, I'm calling the police.
You call him, Etta. You call him.
Slim, no, don't.
Old hen. Try to send me back to penitentiary, will you? Find a way to treat a brother. You old hen. I'll show you. Treat your brother like a little dog.
Take care of you.
Deputy Sheriff Clarkson.
Deputy Clarkson, this is Slim Usery.
Yes, Slim.
It's my sister, Etta, Deputy Clarkson. She left the house yesterday to go visiting. She didn't come home all night.
Where'd she go, Slim?
Well, I don't rightly know, Deputy Clarkson, but you know Etta. That ain't like her. Something must have happened to her now. Would you help me find her?
All right, Slim, I'll be right over.
So, Don, the murderer, Slim Usery, reported to the authorities that his sister Etta was missing, although it was Usery himself who killed her. But in carrying out his plan to fool the police, Usery ran into unexpected difficulties.
From May 24th, 1947, Phillips H. Lord's Gangbusters here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Ooh, a sad story of a criminal teaching people how to be criminals, and that, in and of itself, is a truly sad plot for the story. But not many happy stories on Gangbusters. May 24th, 1947, the case of the costume killer here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Now, you were telling us, Chief Pitcock, that Slim Usery murdered his sister Etta and then reported her missing.
Yes, Don. And an investigation was started. The weeded area of the neighborhood was on the list of places where deputies thought the woman might be found, and the search there was in progress.
Deputy Clarkson?
Yes, Slim.
You don't reckon we'll find Etta in here? If anything happened to Etta, it'd break my heart.
I know how you feel, Slim. Let's cut the talking and look.
Okay. Etta.
Matter, Slim.
Hey, boys. Etta.
Hold it, man.
Hold
it. What's the matter?
What's the matter?
Did you find something, Slim? Good Lord.
Etta.
Come away from us, Slim. Come away.
I won't sleep a wink till I get the man who did this. I won't sleep a wink.
Come in.
Hello, Deputy Clarkson.
Slim.
They said you wanted to see me.
Yes. Come on over and sit down.
Sure, Deputy Clarkson. Well, you got any idea who killed my sis?
Yes, Slim. I've got a few ideas.
Well, you just tell me who it was. I could wring his neck with my two hands. I could...
You could what, Slim?
Well, you can't blame me none, Deputy Clarkson. Poor little Etta never did no harm, no one. Murdered in cold blood like that.
You killed two men yourself, Slim.
Well, that was different.
What was so different about it?
Well, I paid for it. I spent 19 years put away. And You don't think it was me killed Etta?
I didn't say you killed her, but you could have.
Well, I didn't. What would I be killing my own sis for?
I haven't any idea.
It's a fine thing. I come down here to help you, and I get accused of murder. Just because I've been in a little trouble once or twice, you can't let a man have no peace. Not even when they're fixing to bury his poor sister.
Hey, Slim.
Huh?
Come here.
What do you want?
How come it was you, out of all the people looking for Etta, that found her body? You seem to know just where it was.
Well, she just happened to be where I was looking. If I killed her, you don't think I'd be fool enough to find the body, do you?
Slim, I don't know what to think.
Well, Don, a few months went by and no new evidence turned up. Then one day Slim Usery left town and went to Little Rock, Arkansas. Shortly after he arrived, Usery walked into a costumer's shop on Commerce Street and asked to look at a wig and mustache outfit he saw in the window.
Yes, sir. Finest wig and mustache in Little Rock. There you are.
Yeah, not bad. I've seen better.
I take it you're going to a party?
Oh, I figured on a couple of parties. You got a looking glass here? If they look good on, maybe I'll take 'em.
Right in back here, sir?
Oh, yeah.
The mustache sticks right on.
I can see how it works.
Very good indeed. Nobody'd recognize you, not with that on.
How much?
Well, now, let's see. That'd be, $11.80 with the tax.
Okay.
Shall I wrap 'em up for you?
Sure, wrap 'em. You don't think I'm going to wear 'em now, do you?
Attention, all squads. Be on alert for bandit who robbed auto rental agency 6th and Scott of several $100s in cash. This man, described as tall and slender, apparently wore black mustache and wig as disguise. Caution, this man is armed and dangerous.
Oh, come on in, Sergeant.
What a morning, Captain. I had that witness look at every picture in the file. No luck. Not with that wig and mustache disguise. Good disguise.
You know, I can't remember anyone using a disguise like that on a hold-up in years. This must be an old-timer.
Well, the victim thought he was about 40, Captain. It doesn't make him too much of an old-timer. I wonder if he bought that wig and mustache in one of the shops here in Little Rock.
Maybe. But they can't tell whether that stuff came from their shop until they see it. And it looks like we'll have to get our man before they can see it.
Hello, Mr. Usery.
Huh? Well, Joey. Sit down, boy. Sit down.
Thanks, Mr. Usery.
Call me Slim, Joey. People around here know me as Slim.
Okay, Slim.
By gravy, you growed. How about a beer, Joey?
Oh, no, thanks. Later, maybe. Well, I came as soon as I got your letter.
Yeah. Well, I wrote to you, boy, because I like you. And I want to do something for you. I was sure glad to hear you didn't go to that reformatory.
Well, it was like you said. They gave me a talking to and let me go. They haven't caught me since.
That's good boy, Joey.
I figured when I got your letter you needed some help.
Not just yet, boy. First, you got to finish your lessons.
Lessons? Well, I could do okay now. I've been doing okay.
Well, maybe you could, but we got to be sure about it. Now, tonight, I'm going to try my old disguise trick again. You recollect I was telling you once about disguises?
Yeah, I remember.
Well, boy, tonight, I got a nice little old cafe all picked out. It'll be so easy I won't need help from you. I wouldn't need you even if you was ready. So you just stick around my room.
French fries.
Yes, sir. What'll you have? This, stick up. What? Reach.
What's the matter?
Everybody quiet.
Wait a minute.
Wait for nothing. I'm in a hurry. Where's the dough?
I'll get it.
Hey.
It was an accident.
I don't like accidents. Now, don't anybody move till I'm gone. Anybody follow, get the same.
Get him.
How bad is he, Sergeant?
Luckily, not so bad. Both flesh wounds, Captain. This is his room.
Okay. Let's go in. Hello, Mr. Walters. How do you feel now?
Oh, not bad, considering.
I'm Captain Crossman.
Oh, hello.
Mr. Walters, do you think you could recognize the man who held up your cafe and shot you?
I don't know. Maybe I could. I ought to know that mustache anyway.
Mm-hmm. Is this the mustache?
Yeah, that's it. I'd swear that's it.
It was found in an alley near your cafe. The hold-up man was seen running up that alley.
That's it, all right.
Thanks, Mr. Walters. We know where it was bought. Now all we've got to do is find the man who bought it.
I'm telling you, Joey, just like I tell all my boys. If you miss doing something one way, no matter how many times it worked, it ain't good no more.
That seems crazy to me. All you gotta do is get another mustache.
No, boy. Police and everybody else on that mustache and wig trick. I gotta try something else.
Yeah, but you promised I could try the mustache trick.
I said no, boy. When I say no, I mean it.
Maybe we'll pick up and go someplace else and try it, but not here in Little Rock.
It's nuts, Slim. And we're just getting set here.
And I don't know whether I'm going to stay or not. They got a big charge against me. I could have killed that man last night.
Oh, the guy was shot up a little. Serves him right.
Maybe I should have killed him.
Sure. So, he'd have been number 3.
Joey. Number 4.
Number 4?
You heard me.
May 24th, 1947, Gangbusters on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. The conclusion follows these messages from your favorite radio station. Just going to take a minute here to tell you about the big savings going on now, the clearance sale at mypillow.com. And you know, I've talked about how in my office I have a pair of my slippers, and they're really comfortable, and they're on clearance right now. The mypillow.com slippers, $25 a pair, limit 10. And I would buy 3 or 4 more pairs. Unfortunately, they're out of my size. They also have sheets, pillowcases, clothing items, all on special right now. Go to mypillow.com, click on the clearance tab at the top of the page, use my promo code Wyatt, or call 1-800-928-4715. Limited sizes remaining in the MyPillow slippers, limited colors on other items. mypillow.com, clearance tab, promo code Wyatt, 1-800-928-4715. Thank you for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox and the Case of the Costumed Killer, an episode of Gangbusters from May 24th, 1947.
You mean you killed somebody since I saw you last?
What if I did? If you want no account. Getting back, we got to change our way of operating. We got to just... Boy, where you going?
I'm going out for some air.
Well, now watch out where you go and what you do.
Well, just going out to get you a present.
Present, boy? For me?
Sure. And one for myself. I'll see you later, Slim.
Captain Crossman.
This is Sergeant Woods. We've got men planted at that costume store. Nothing doing yet, Captain.
Well, keep them there. And at the other stores, too.
Okay, Captain, but it's pretty much of a shot in the dark. This fellow'd be a chump to come back for another mustache.
Maybe. But if he does come back, I want a welcoming party for him.
Joey?
Yeah, Slim, open up.
Where you been, boy? Get in here.
I told you I was going out to buy a present.
Oh. Is that it there?
Uh-huh, that's it.
Well, don't stand there, boy. If you're going to give it to me, give it here.
I got 2 of them.
What is it? Give it here, boy.
Not until you promise I can use one.
One what?
One of these mustache outfits.
Mustache outfits?
Uh-huh.
Where'd you get it?
Hey, let go. Please, Slim, let go, will you?
Where'd you get it?
At the same store you showed me. Please, Slim, you hurt me. Please.
I ought to kill you, boy. I ought to beat your brains out.
No, please.
You could have brought the cops here. You know that.
There were no cops. I looked good, honest. Let go, Slim.
Huh? No cops?
I'm positive. I didn't see anybody.
Well, as long as you didn't see no cops, I guess be no cops coming here, huh?
Sure. Everything's okay?
Yeah. You didn't listen to me, Joey. I kill people who don't pay no attention.
Slim, don't do nothing.
Come here, you miserable...
No, let go. I didn't mean nothing.
Didn't mean nothing, now. Oh, please.
Turn you loose. Huh? Police officers, you're under arrest.
Huh? Me?
Please, I didn't do nothing. He was trying to kill me.
We'll see about that, son. Come on, both of you.
Now watch how you're pulling.
Come on, you.
Okay, kid. Let's go.
No, I don't want to go to jail.
Come on, boy. It's just another lesson.
It should have been the first lesson. It should have been the first.
So, Don, that was the end of the teacher of crime. And Usery, who thought he had committed a perfect murder, made the worst mistake of all. He told someone about it. And the boy Joey told the police. In the Little Rock jail, William Usery confessed the murder of his sister Etta. Usery was returned to Mississippi, where he died in the electric chair in the Forest County Jail a few months ago.
Well, congratulations, Chief Pitcock, to you and to the men of the Little Rock Police Department who solved this terrible crime. Principal roles in tonight's dramatization were played by Bill Smith and Jack Grimes. Don Gardner speaking. Gangbusters is a Phillips H. Lord production.
May 24th, 1947. Gangbusters here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. We'll check in with yours truly, Johnny Dollar, next. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Before we get to this fourth part of the five-part yours truly, Johnny Dollar story, let me kind of retrospect on this. From 1949 until 1955, yours truly, Johnny Dollar, was starred by Charles Russell, Edmund O'Brien, John Lunn in succession over the years. Now, the show ran okay. It was not a big, great show. It was just a private eye show. Now, in 1955, Bob Bailey came back and breathed new life and new cheer into the show as yours truly, Johnny Dollar, in daily quarter-hour shows, daily 15-minute shows. And that's what we've been airing here. And the shows really were impactful. And what is more interesting in that is that Bob Bailey became Johnny Dollar to a lot of people, such that after he went off the air, he never really found another gig after this. When the show moved back to New York, Bob Reddick and then Mandel Kramer, the final Johnny Dollars until September 30th, 1962, the end of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, and the end of the classic radio age. Let us get to this now. This is part 4 of the 5-part yours truly, Johnny Dollar story. It is entitled The Tears of Night Matter. A lady having issues with reality, and much of it looks like being forced on her. This episode from May 24th, 1956.
From Hollywood, it's time now for
Johnny Dollar.
Your number is ringing, Mr. Dollar.
Oh, thanks.
Hello?
This is Johnny Dollar.
Dollar, I thought you went back to Hartford.
I meant to, but I got tied up in Mrs. Wendover's business affairs again.
What now?
Can you come over to my hotel right away?
It's 1 o'clock in the morning.
I know it.
Well, can't you grab a cab and come over here?
Hardly.
Why not?
A couple of Sam Costigan's boys followed me here. I think they might like to do a little target practice on me.
Tonight and every weekday night, Bob Bailey in the transcribed adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account, America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to the Universal Adjustment Bureau, 518 Spear Boulevard, Hartford, Connecticut. The following is an accounting of expenditures during my investigation of the Tears of Night matter. Expenses continued. Items 10 and 11. $10, scotch and soda, plus a pitcher of ice and glasses. I had them filled, chilled, and waiting when Hilary Fuchs knocked on the door of my room. His eyes were still puffy with sleep, and he had a trench coat thrown over his pajamas.
What's this all about, Johnny? You said Mrs. Wendover, somebody followed you. What?
I want you to tell me what you can about the Tears of Night.
The Tears of what?
Tears of Night, a piece of jewelry owned by Mrs. Wendover, a necklace, 4 diamonds on black onyx, silver chain.
What the devil would I know about something like that?
In her accounts, her bills, her property? You're her business manager. You must know something about it.
I never heard of it. You better straighten me out.
Try some of that.
This is all too fast for me.
Okay, I'll bring you up to date. I came here day before yesterday to investigate Mrs. Wendover's claim as beneficiary of the death of her husband. She forgot to file it for 2 years. Now, you explained why. I bought that. It's a legitimate claim. But I didn't buy her story about being cursed, or I didn't buy your idea that she was on the verge of blowing her top. No, I'm not so sure.
I'm just along for the ride.
Well, you left me in your office last night. A little while after you left, a man named Frank Scanlon came in and stuck a gun at me and said Sam Costigan wanted to see me.
Costigan, the gambler?
The same. Scanlon thought I was you. He took me over to Costigan's place.
What's this got to do with insurance?
Nothing. But it has something to do with Mrs. Wendover. Costigan had a necklace, the Tears of Night there. He said Mrs. Wendover left it as a pawn a week or so ago.
Oh?
He told me Mrs. Wendover called up and threatened to come out with policemen unless Costigan returned it. And as long as I was there, Costigan asked me to take it to her. I went over to her place, and what do you know? She was wearing the Tears of Night.
I don't get this.
Well, have another drink. Neither do I. By the time I got there to her apartment, Mrs. Wendover hardly remembered my name or that we'd met in your office. She was waiting for her boyfriend to show up. Incidentally, his name's Teddy Davis. Is he after her money or what?
Search me. I never met him.
Well, I skipped out of there and looked up the jeweler who'd made the necklace, a man named Hannibal Mortuus.
I heard of him. He speaks Latin or something.
That's the one. He told me the necklace I had was the real thing. Now, I want you to tell me who made up the one Mrs. Wendover was wearing.
I don't know anything about it.
Well, it had to be made up sometime within the last week, and you've been handling her business affairs.
I don't know a thing about it, Johnny.
All right, come here, take a look. Do you know anything about those two birds outside there?
No.
Well, one of them's a character named Feely. He works for Costigan. The other one I saw at Costigan's club. They tailed me from Mortuus's place. Probably been on me all night long since I picked up the necklace.
Where is it now?
I mailed it to myself from Mortuus's hotel.
Those two out there, you better call the police if you think they're after you.
Oh, nothing I could tell the police that would hold them up half a second. Mainly, I wanted to ask you about all this before I went on with it.
What do you mean, go on with it?
Go back to Mrs. Wendover, to Costigan, find out what's real and what isn't real?
This isn't your line of duty. Why?
Oh, I've been thinking about that. I don't know why. Maybe it's Mrs. Wendover. Those eyes of hers and that talk about the curse. I got a feeling she needs help in this matter. Somehow she needs help.
What can I do, Johnny?
Go to bed. I'll let you know what happens. Now, where's your car?
In the parking lot back of the hotel.
Give me the keys. I'll use that.
Hey.
Make yourself at home, Mr. Fuchs. Go to bed here. Oh.
Yeah?
Every now and then, walk over and look out that window and have a drink. They'll think it's me, and that's a good thought for them to have.
Okay, what else?
Well, if they start for the lobby, call downstairs and have them send up the houseman and get the police. I don't think they will, but remember that.
Well, why would they want...
still think I've got that piece of jewelry on me. We shook up another drink, and I borrowed Fuchs's trench coat and left. I found his green Chevy without too much trouble, since there weren't too many cars out in the lot that time of morning. I looked at my watch, and it said 2:35. I drove around front past the two hoodlums, still keeping up their silent vigil, and found a street that looked familiar. 20 minutes later, I was in the parking lot beside Elise Wendover's apartment building. It was still dark, still foggy, and too late I found out too crowded. Somehow, the pair of hoodlums were waiting for me after all.
Hey, this is him, Feely. Got a match, Dollar?
Toby asked you if you got a match. He's a dummy, Toby. Don't answer.
Got a match, Dollar?
What'd I tell you? He's a dummy boy.
You don't look like no dummy boy.
You're nearsighted.
Take your hands off.
He's a dummy, all right, ain't you, Dollar? See, Toby? I told him about you being nearsighted, and he wouldn't answer.
He don't talk.
Go on, smart boy. Tell Toby how sorry you are about him being nearsighted. Talk. I heard you talk before. Told you he was a dummy.
Hey, tell me something, dummy. All insurance guys like you?
Toby asked you a question. He wants to know if all insurance guys are like you.
I don't like him.
We asked questions, and he ain't told us nothing.
Hey, maybe we find out something we went through his pockets, huh?
Yeah. Even a dummy's got pockets. Ain't that right, dummy? Hold him, Toby.
Yeah. All right, boys, you played the scene good, and I'll see what I can do for you, but I haven't got the necklace.
Hey, he talks.
Yeah, you make him talk again, Toby. Now, don't make him talk too much. We know if the stuff ain't on him, it's in his room. We can pick it up anytime. That's it. Easy, Toby, easy.
Oh, he talks real nice, Feely, but he don't say much. Hey, you think maybe he's tough?
Could be.
No, I wasn't. And I didn't feel like talking in that quiet little parking lot where the only noise was them pounding on me. I told them I didn't have the necklace anymore, but they didn't care about that. They wanted to find out the hard way for me. I remember trying to wake up a couple of times. I dreamed I was driving along in a big Cadillac. Frank Scanlon was on one side of me, Sam Costigan on the other. Hannibal Mortuus was in the front seat. He had his jeweler's glass out, looking at the tiers of night. I tried to see who was behind the steering wheel, and I gave that up because the steering wheel was a roulette wheel. Then we had a blowout, and the whole car vanished with everybody screaming, "Demortuus, Demortuus." Somewhere around 6 in the morning, I began to get a feeling, several feelings, and all of them hurt. It just turned dawn, and I rolled over on my side to watch a man who hadn't seen me step into his car with a fresh shave and a fishing pole, pull out of the lot and disappear. Somewhere, vaguely, I heard the sounds of early morning traffic. Streetcar clanged somewhere. Nothing much happened for a while. Then it came to me it might be a good idea to get on my feet and find a telephone and get hold of a doctor and see how long I had to live. Somehow I managed by holding onto a fence and stumbling against cars to make the front entrance to Elise Wendover's house. I made the elevator, self-serviced my way up to the 9th floor, and staggered toward 913. I would have been better off in the parking lot. Elise Wendover was there, sitting in a large chair by the window. She still wore the black strapless dress and ermine piece she'd had on the night before. The drapes were drawn, the door was slightly open. Light from the hall seeped in. She had a telephone on her lap. The receiver was off, held idly in one hand. She looked at me. But she was looking at nothing.
Oh.
Hello.
Oh, Mr. Dollar, it's you. You've been in an accident. You're hurt.
I don't think you'll need this.
Oh. Well then, Mr. Dollar. Well then. I suppose you've met some people tonight who know a great deal about me.
A gambler? A jeweler?
Did they tell you about Teddy Davis? He's really a dear, Mr. Dollar. Quite the nicest boy I've met since Noah died on the boat. Noah and I had so many things together, Mr. Dollar. I do think he enjoyed being alive with me. I mean, I cried when Noah died. I really did. I cried like a little baby. Of course, I cried when I heard my brother was killed in Korea and when Daddy died in his office with a heart attack. I shouldn't really cry anymore. I mean, after all, I am cursed. I told you that.
Yes, I told you I didn't believe it. There's no such thing.
But there is, you'll see.
Mrs. Wendover.
No, I have Teddy. He's really a dear. I do think he will be a very prominent artist someday. He paints. You know? Teddy asked me to marry him tonight.
That's nice. You marry him.
And Teddy isn't interested in my money. Could you believe that? What is my... I can't seem to get my tongue adjusted to my mouth. Did that ever happen to you, Mr. Dollar?
Yes, sometimes.
Perhaps I should see a correctionist. I'm glad you came by again, Mr. Dollar. I told you once that sometimes it means an awfully lot to speak to someone. Mr. Costigan.
What about Mr. Costigan?
Later. I know it must be strange to you, but some people live for nothing but money, and some people die for it.
Stop it! Now tell me what's happened. Tell me what's happened so I can help you.
They do look so funny. They're so very funny. I've seen them count money so often and so much money, and I really believe that is honestly all they live for, only.
She pointed across the darkened room. Her black eyes glistened with no semblance of reason left in them. It took me 5 seconds to find the light switch. Stretched out on the floor of her apartment, they look funny, all right. Feely and Toby. Both of them as dead as you can get.
Now, here's our star to tell you about tomorrow's final intriguing episode of this week's story.
Tomorrow, the tears of night come home. Join us, won't you? Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, starring Bob Bailey, is transcribed in Hollywood. Written by John Dawson, it is produced and directed by Jack Johnstone. Be sure to join us tomorrow night, same time and station, for the next exciting episode of Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Roy Rowan speaking.
May 24th, 1960. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. I want to give you a little reading material here. John C. Abbott has written an interesting book, The Who is Johnny Dollar Matter. A different look at Johnny Dollar as if he were a real investigator. The Who is Johnny Dollar Matter starts with a mini biography and then provides a detailed recap of each Yours truly, Johnny Dollar program. The detailed case analyses catalog the details of each story, including cast, expenses, writers, directors, and cross-references to programs that use the same script with a different name and cast, and we've pointed out at least one of those. I will have a link to this book up on our website, which is classicradio.stream. That is classicradio.stream. I think that this, if you are a Yours truly Johnny Dollar fan, it might behoove you to pick up at least one of these books. This one, and there are, as I said, there are three volumes of Who is Johnny Dollar? Who is Johnny Dollar Matter by John C. Abbott. Okay, thank you for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Visit our webpage, classicradio.stream. Stream our shows to learn about building a classic radio collection of your own. You can contact me, find our social media links, and you can also buy me a coffee. The Buy Me a Coffee money helps us acquire additional classic radio collections, and it also helps us maintain our distribution channels. classicradio.stream. Thanks for tuning in. Tell all your friends the greatest radio shows of all time are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite station.